What's up everybody? In today's video I want to show you a very quick tip with Final Cut Pro 10, and this is how to share your final project with YouTube. Obviously it doesn't have to be your final project, but this is just how to share a video from Final Cut Pro 10 onto YouTube. So with your project created, you're going to want to go up to the share menu at the top right corner, and that's this little arrow sticking up, the little box with the little arrow kind of shooting straight up, just like you're sharing something outside of the box that is your computer somewhere else. Now, one of the default share options should be YouTube in the list that you see here. If you don't see it, scroll all the way to the bottom and you can click on Add Destination. And when you go to add the destination, you'll see a list of them, and YouTube will be one of them. And you can then just drag that over to this left column to add that as one of your destinations. However, in this case, it is already there for me and should be there for you as well. So you're just going to click on YouTube. Once you do that, the little share window appears. This window is nice because on the left column, you can get a quick preview of your project, just skimming through it. And then you can edit the details of this video. So this is not actually episode 4 project, but this is going to be the title that goes on to your video. So I'm just going to call this Final Cut Pro Help. Do a colon and we'll call it sharing. You can then go in and write a description for the video, and this is something that is very commonly used on most YouTube videos to provide information about the video and other details. So you'll want to write a description here. In this case, I'm just going to call this sharing videos to YouTube. If I spell it right, let's capitalize it to YouTube. And then the creator is usually just the username of the computer, but you can put in who's creating this. And then you can add tags. So right now it just added the event tag, which is unsorted, but I can go in and type in, say, Final Cut Pro 10. I'm going to hit return to add that keyword. I might also add Final Cut and sharing and maybe tips. And press return. And now it's added those 4 keywords. You can definitely go in here and add many, many more keywords to that list there if you want to. Below this, we get a list of the settings that are going to be shared to YouTube. So this video was a 720p project at 30 frames per second. As you can see, it's going out at stereo, the length of the project. And one of my settings, and probably the most important, is that it's going to be private after it shares this QuickTime movie. Now, the reason I'd recommend keeping it as private is so that you can review the video. So far, what we've done in the Info tab is we've gone through and added some metadata to this project, and this is what is going to appear on YouTube. However, because I'm making the video private, this can be all used as a kind of temporary placeholder, and you can actually go onto the YouTube website and make adjustments and changes to it. Now, in addition to this Info tab where we've seen all this stuff, I do strongly recommend clicking on Settings and reviewing the information that's here. Because if anything, this is the most important part. You're going to need to sign in to your YouTube account. When you click on Sign In, it'll give you a brief description here, and then you're going to click on Sign In. And it's actually going to go to the website for Google's site, since they own YouTube, and you're going to want to sign in to your account. So I'm going to sign into my Final Cut Pro account, my Final Cut Pro channel. It's going to give you some information here, and you're going to want to read the information that's here. In this case, I have read it from my other channel, so I'm going to allow it. And then we get back to Final Cut, where we can see it's now connected to the Final Cut Pro Help YouTube page in this case. I could also see then the resolution, which it is going to be a 720p project. I cannot go to HD 1080p or 4K because this project is not a 4K project. The largest resolution I can go to is what the project is set to, which in this case is 720p. If you wanted to, for some reason, you could add a lower resolution. I usually don't recommend doing that. Then we get the color space. Just to review, this is a standard Rec 709. It's not in a wide color gamut or anything else. The compression. Out of any tip in this video, this is the most important thing I'm going to recommend. And if this is the only tip you gain from this, make sure to change faster encoding to better quality. If that's the only tip you take away, this is going to be something that helps out all of your videos. The only reason I recommend keeping this at faster encode is if you're truly in a time crunch to get this video published. I find the amount of time difference between faster encode and better quality usually is not worth it. I mean, in most cases, most of us editing with Final Cut, we're trying to create good content and good quality content, so you're going to want to change it to better quality. If you are working in a fast-paced environment, say like a news environment where you're editing something that's breaking news, or you've just captured the latest sensation, the latest clip that's going to go viral, and you just absolutely need to get this out as fast as you can, then keep it at faster encode. Otherwise, in my opinion, change it to better quality. Like I said earlier, we're going to keep this at private for now, and then you can go onto YouTube's website and change it to be public after you review it on YouTube's page. You do not have to listen to that. That's just my opinion. But for all the videos that I do, I always upload it as private. Sometimes it's unlisted, but usually it's private. That way I can go on to YouTube's page, review all the settings, correct anything that I see, add a custom thumbnail to some of the videos, and then I'll go in and change it to be a public video. The reason you might want to use it unlisted, and I see that's actually common in production environments, you might share this to YouTube as an unlisted video, and then you can copy the link and send it to someone else to review the content. Unlisted means it's not going to be searchable by other people. It's not going to show up on your profile. It's just for people that have the link to get to that video. It's still possible other people might come across it because it's not private, but it's a lot less likely. So if you want to review things and make it a little bit easier for other people to review, select unlisted. Otherwise, keep it as private. And then next option here is a category. These are the various YouTube categories and how they categorize or sort their videos. So you want to select the category that your video is a part of. So maybe this one is a documentary where they're interviewing people about let's say it's a news thing, so about politics. So we'll switch it down to news and politics. In my case, I did not add captions to this project, so I don't have an option to include the captions, but if you do go and add those captions, you'll get that option and you'll be able to add that in. Then switching back to the info tab, I can review all the settings. Everything looks good at the bottom here. If I did make any change, it would update here. So for example, if I did go with a lower resolution, we see that change happens at the bottom. In my case, I'm going to keep it as HD. Once everything looks good, just hit next. It's going to want you to verify that you do have the copyright to all the material that you're uploading. Please, if you're unsure about this, go into copyright tips. Let's go onto YouTube's page and give you some information about that. It's your responsibility to publish content that's your own and not be taking others. So make sure you review that and go through all that fun stuff. But once you have, then you can go ahead and click on Publish. And what you'll see is in the top left corner under our background tasks, we can see that it's going through now and sharing that video. It's also making a backup, but under sharing, I can see that it's writing episode 4 project, which was is the original name of the project, but it's writing that file, which is essentially making that file, and then it's going to go and upload it onto YouTube. From that point, you can sign into your YouTube account, see the video, make any adjustments you need to, and if you followed my steps as far as keeping the video private, you'll then be able to make it public after you've customized all those things. I hope that helps out. If you have any other questions, just leave a comment. If there's something specific you want me to cover, let me know what topics you want to see more of. Otherwise, subscribe to avoid missing any future videos. Thanks, everyone.